the main thing I want to talk to you about, as a former governor yourself, it's been an interesting year for governors in general, Republican governors. Some of them, with respect to the COVID lockdowns, I think have been quite impressive. Obviously, DeSantis in Florida, Noem in South Dakota, and others pushing back against it. Other Republican governors not so willing to push back and have sort of gone along with the so-called experts and done whatever they were told. And then that kind of gives way to this issue with gender. We've seen a push across the country on a statewide level of trying to pass bills to kind of put a halt, if only temporarily, to the march of the left's gender madness in their states. And so there's been bills banning males from competing against females in female sports. And then in Arkansas, there was a bill that was supposed to stop children from having their genitals mutilated or being drugged, because they're gender confused. But in both of those cases, we know Governor Noem in South Dakota and Governor Hutchinson in Arkansas rejected or vetoed those bills. And I first, just broadly speaking, I'm interested to get your thoughts on that. What do you think? Is there any defending this? They had their reasons. They thought it was government overstepping its bounds, and it was kind of a rejection of our limited government principles and so on. What's your take on that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the fundamentals, I tell kids on campus all the time, beyond just this issue, the difference between the left and the right is the left wants the government to tell you what to do, when to do, and how to do it in everything, in every way. Our view, at least my view, as I articulate, is as long as you don't hurt the health and safety of your neighbor, go out and do your own thing, live your own life, pursue your own dream in the larger context. But when we're talking about minors, that's a whole different ballgame. There's the obvious reason why all throughout society we have protections for children, for those under the age of 18. And so it only makes sense. My kids are now 25 and 26. I got nieces who are 17 and 14. I think any of us who are parents know, particularly in the teen years, how our kids will change their mind 20 times a day, let alone, over the period of a month or a year or early on in their lifetime. So I do think it makes sense that we're protecting, particularly against these supposed woke, radical parents who are allowing kids to go to great extremes to try and show how accepting they are, not understanding that when you're talking about physical changes, when you're talking about things involving medical procedures, medications, other things, those are things that are almost irreversible. And again, kids are going to change their minds on any number of things. Let's be careful what happens there. And on the larger context on what happened in South Dakota and what's being proposed and advocated for in other states, I think anyone who's ever watched high school and junior high and even earlier sports know there's a reason why boys and girls don't compete against each other. It wouldn't be fair. There's other levels where young women are actually far ahead their male counterparts when it comes to their development intellectually in the classroom and other areas that boys will take some time to catch up on. But physically, it makes no sense for boys and girls to be competing against each other. And no matter what you think about the larger issue of transgenderism, the bottom line is there's no way that someone who is physically born a young man should be competing against a girl. And I think governors of any party, but particularly Republican governors, should recognize that and stand up for that.